Hi, this is a short video just to give you some hints and tips about keeping your button central as you're working it. The main thing is to get the laying right, so I'm just slicked my button. Bring the thread down from the back underneath at 6 o'clock and back up to 12, and that gives you your first wrap, and I'm making sure I'm cutting that ring right in half with that spoke. Turn slightly to the anti-clockwise and lay the next spoke at 7 o'clock and then right over the centre of the button. So each time I'm coming round to the left and making sure that I'm keeping those distances the same at the bottom and that I'm laying the top part of the spoke right over the centre, and you'll see there's a little crossing point in the middle there. Not worrying about the distances at the top. I'm turning every spoke every time I lay a spoke, so that every time I lay the spoke it comes directly out from my body, and that keeps it nice and central. Pinch that last one between your thumb and forefinger, and using the needle find the point where all the spokes cross. There's a little triangle at the back. If you can't find it looking at the front of the button, if you turn your hand over to look at the back of the button, you can see there's a little triangle on the back, and it's always between the last spoke you laid and the first spoke you laid. If you put your needle in, you can push sideways or into the centre and check that that's gathering all the spokes. So bring the needle up from the back in that place and then drop it down on the opposite triangle, so you're catching all the threads into the centre, and then use that stitch to pull everything into the centre. Pull quite firmly to gather the spokes, and you'll have one that goes from east to west, and then you're going to do one from north to south, but you use that east-west stitch to pull everything into the centre, and the north-south stitch just holds everything in place. And that gives you a nice central button. And then the other thing you can do, once you've started your rounding, so I'm just going to whip round here. I'm doing one round of back stitch, just one over every spoke. There are other videos on our YouTube channel to show you how to do this more slowly. And when I've got all the way round, I use my thumb and my forefinger to push the stitches into the centre, and you'll see that centre's slipping as you work because the back spokes pull the centre out of true as you're working. But you can use your thumb and forefinger to push the stitches back into the centre, and that pushes the centre back in to its proper place. I keep pushing my rounds every 2 or 3 rounds basically, so I push my stitches in, and those stitches that are too close to the edge I push them into the centre, and the ones that aren't I leave it, and eventually the button gets the idea. I hope you found this useful. Mainly it's practice, and don't stress too much if they're not dead central. They're handmade buttons, so they will always be slightly off, but that's the beauty and charm of them. Thanks for watching.